Okay, family. So I just learned that a man cannot have full control and full access to his feelings. So what was explained to me is, let's say someone broke in a house, right? And everyone is afraid. Everyone is fearful, right? But only the woman is allowed to be scared, because he then has to get up and protect his family. If they are
Hold on, I had to stop this because from the beginning she's wrong, but let me explain why. She's saying that a man isn't allowed to be afraid, and you can be afraid. If someone breaks into your house, you can be afraid, because without fear, there's no courage, there's no bravery. If there isn't any type of fear or, discomfort to overcome, it's not about being afraid. It's about showing that you're not afraid. You want to be that guy that is like kind of Superman for your family. You want to seem like you got that unshakable demeanor, that you got that very stoic mindset, that no matter what's going to go on, you are able to stay calm. Even if you're feeling a certain type of way, you're not going to show that, because if you start panicking, if you start showing you're afraid, everybody else is definitely going to go crazy. But I'm gonna let her finish before we continue.
arguing, he has to console her. And he can't be consoled because she's the woman. The man can express what he feels because her feelings are supposed to be far greater than his. And I never really thought about it that way. He says, if they lose the child, everyone consoles the mother. No one consoles the father. If they lose a loved one, even though it could be his family, they always console her. How you holding up? How you doing this for him? I was like, is it really like that? See, this is why I don't like that saying, happy wife, happy life. Because to me, it really, even listening to that conversation, it is literally saying you as a man have to put your feelings on the back burner, because the only way that your marriage or your relationship is going to be happy is if the woman is happy. Therefore, you're not allowed to think, feel, react. Like you become a robot in this relationship because only one person is important. Y'all listen, I don't want somebody that operates the way I want him to. I don't want somebody that's not allowed to think and feel, be vulnerable, react. Like, I don't want that. Why would anybody want that out of a person? Y'all, is that really how y'all feel? Y'all could tell me the truth. Is that how y'all feel in your relationship? Y'all feel less than? I want to know. And then for those that do feel like that and feel like you have no voice and no say so and that you are not important, why are you still there? Why? Why would you put your own peace and your happiness aside? Y'all, I have questions.
So I think this woman right here, shout out to Lady Lucky Charms, definitely go follow her. I'll have her link down below. So I think she is starting some good conversation here. She started some good conversation here because to me, and like I was saying about just being stoic as a man, now that's what you need to be, but at the same time, that's just how you're supposed to be regardless, right? You shouldn't be the type of guy that is like always on this happy wife, happy life shit. As long as she's good, everything's okay. No. You as a man should have a purpose. You should have your kingdom, and she should be coming into that. And her coming into that means that you're not changing shit. You're not changing nothing about what you got going on. There might be little things, little adjustments, but for the majority, you're not changing how you move, how you act, and how you are as a man. It's like, if she wants to be on your ship, then that's cool. If she says, oh, I don't like this about your ship, that doesn't mean you go changing stuff. That means that she needs to go find another ship, because you know your purpose. You know how you're supposed to be as a man. Now, when we get to some of the stuff when she was saying about what was she saying in the middle there? A man not being able to feel and react and all this stuff. Now, I feel like this is a big problem in today's society, but it's not because they're putting the females feelings and all that over the man's. It's because the man doesn't have the proper outlets. The man isn't supposed to run to his woman, run to his family maybe, but it's more so about having that brotherhood around him, man. You gotta have that brotherhood. You gotta have other strong men that you can go to and talk to, because realistically, a lot of times why men can't talk to women about stuff is because when it comes, like, women, they're not gonna be able to understand. Like, we don't need the same type of consoling. It's like, oh, it's okay. Like, that's not gonna help a man. Like, yeah, it might make him feel a little bit better in the moment, but as a man, we need like real life solutions. We need somebody that's been through it, or somebody that can relate, and usually that's gonna come from another man. And also, when a man does have that brotherhood, and he doesn't have to go to female family members or wife or girlfriend about like how he's feeling. If he doesn't have to go to her, then he can always still look like that Superman, because he has the proper support system, and he can support her in the ways that she wants to be supported. A lot of times women, they're different from men, right? Women don't usually want to hear, like, when something happens, they don't want to just hear the solution. They lose their job, they don't want to hear like, let's go apply for some new ones, it's gonna be okay. Like, that's like, yeah, that can happen, like, we can get to that, but usually in that moment they just want to be consoled. They want to be held, and they want to be told that it's gonna be okay, rather than getting straight to the solutions. That's more of a masculine thing. So I just think men need that brotherhood around them so we're not suffering in silence all the time. We need safe spaces. We need to and we need other strong men. We don't need to be around losers. That's the problem. A lot of guys got loser friends that they can't talk to about real stuff. They can't talk to them about real stuff, man. Let's see what some of these men and women saying in the comments. If a man shows fear, he's a coward. If he expresses his emotion, he's a simp. If he shows no emotion, he's heartless. If he shows sadness, he's considered weak. If he's too angry, he's toxic. If he sets boundaries, he's insecure. Basically, we can't win. Yeah, I mean, to me, like I said, you need that brotherhood. You need those people you can talk to. It's like, being stoic isn't just not showing any emotion. It's just being in control of it. And I think more guys just need to study that. We suffer in silence and die mostly of stress. Yeah, like I said, it's the man's fault as an individual of why he's suffering in silence, man. You gotta seek a better. It's got to seek a better tribe, man. As Chris Rock said, only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men are only loved under the condition that we provide something. Ask any man how many times he's been asked, are you happy? Most will say 0. Yeah, I definitely, like I said, you ain't got the right tribe of guys. Even if you do, sometimes guy ain't just gonna ask you like, are you happy? Like, we might ask each other like, how are you, bro? But not specifically that, like, are you happy? Because as a man, like, that's just kind of an afterthought, if we're happy or not. I don't think we should be predicating our days too much on happiness. I think we need to have better relationships when it comes to stress and pain. Sometimes we need to embrace those things and see it as more of a positive thing. Because because suffering, pain, stress, those are the things that's going to make you better as a man. And if, you have things in your life like a woman that's continuously causing you stress, then, she needs to go. She needs to be out your life. And also on the spiritual aspect, I feel like as men, we are required to provide and protect. I feel like we're required to do that physically, right? We're supposed to be that unlimited source of currency for our woman, right? That's what we're supposed to be. I feel like a woman is supposed to be that on the spiritual end for us. If she's in our life, if we've had a rough day, a long day, we come home drained, she doesn't need to be arguing with us. She doesn't need to be, getting on our fucking nerves and, doing all this BS, right? She doesn't need to be doing that. She needs to be feeding you that spiritual currency in whatever form that you need that as a man, right? It could be words of affirmation. It could be words of affirmation, touch, just however you best receive that energy from a woman, man. But let me know what you guys think about this video and this whole conversation. I think it was a good conversation. Shout out to Lady Lucky Charms over here, man. As always, love y'all. I'm out.